The culture we've created here at Sterling Law Office is based on a framework that we like to call truth and love. So this is something new that we're really exploring, and what it looks like specifically is truth is the ability for a business to execute processes, to create value, and drive a profit. Being overextended on that one area forgets about the people involved with that process. And the concept of love there is people feel engaged, they feel inspired, they know why they exist and why what they do is important. And if we can balance those two things really well, we feel like we're going to drive what we need to from a client service perspective for our clients, because there's going to be more of our individual selves that we can share and give to those clients than we would otherwise be able to if we forget those concepts. The concept of truth and love starts from a leadership perspective. If our leaders aren't modeling this well and they're not serving the teams that they're responsible for well, we're not going to be able to serve our clients. Service, in my opinion, when you step into a leadership perspective, you're not gaining more autonomy, you're actually giving autonomy away. You're more responsible for more people, which means you have to give more of yourself away. And the benefits of that is you get to see and be a part of a process where somebody grows into becoming more of who they want to be ultimately. And the rewards of that from a leadership perspective is you're also able to achieve your end result in terms of your own goals. But you have to give yourself away first. And that starts with service. It starts from knowing that you're losing autonomy and you're gaining responsibility, and now you are responsible not only for yourself and how you act, but you are responsible for that growth and development of the individual that you're leading. What we're talking about here is called servant leadership. One of our values is lead by serving. We expect everybody at the firm to live out these values, and we don't feel like leadership is titled. Leadership is influence. And anybody in the firm, whether you are an entry-level employee working on the CSS team for the first time and you're answering the phones, or you're the president, or you're a managing partner, your opportunity is to influence others through your actions, through how you serve, through how you act and interact with the people that you're working with every single day, whether that be someone here internally, a team member, or a client that we're serving, working through this difficult transition of divorce or paternity action. So the type of people that we hire are people that are in tune with the concepts of truth and love. They're interested in learning more about it and learning how to balance those two concepts really well. Where that shows itself is how they serve others. And we feel like people that are able to balance those concepts feel like they're empowered and engaged and inspired, and they understand why they exist. They will be able to give more of themselves away and serve the clients that we're asked to serve every single day. When we talk about truth and love, there's something required in that, and that's transparency and authenticity. Being transparent is 100% required when you're balancing that concept of truth and love well. If you're not honest with the team in terms of telling them the truth, in terms of are they in the right seat, are they able to execute the role that they're in, do they know what they need to work on to continue to be an impactful team member, as well as the love concept of do they feel inspired, are they engaged, do they know why they exist, do they know what value they provide. If there's not transparency there in terms of the communication, how they're not able to serve their clients, whether that be an internal client or an external client, in the way that we need them to. So the 1932 crew boat team that rowed in the Summer Olympics, which were really the Hitler Olympics, were tasked and challenged with some pretty high bars. They weren't a team that really grew up with crew training. They were a team that didn't have the economic means that a lot of crew teams had, and they were tasked with growing together, learning how to become a unit together. Here at the firm, when we're faced with the difficulty of COVID in terms of the pandemic that we just went through or are going through still, or tasked with working with a client that's going through a really traumatic divorce, we need to be bound together and working together as a team so that we can get to a common destination. And if all the parts don't really understand why they exist, what their role is, engaged with that process and that overall vision, we're not going to get there. The boat's going to go off course. The boat's going to go astray. The boat's not going to get there on time. We know where we are. We know what we need to do to execute. We know what we need to do to grow. We know where we're headed. So a lot of the fears and anxieties and consternations that people have in their day-to-day work are dissipated. If those fears and those mental strains that are on an individual no longer exist, and they're really passionate about what they're doing in terms of serving the clients that they're called to serve, they're able to give more of themselves to that client. if we're able to live out that mission and we're able to live out that service in terms of how we build our culture, balancing truth and love, balancing and living out the concept of lead by serving, we're able to serve our clients in a much better way that's healthier and more balanced and able to serve them in a way that they're not going to be able to be served anywhere else. We're taking care of each other, and that allows us to take care of our clients in a way that we wouldn't otherwise be able to.
Thank you for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share. Your interaction with our content is greatly appreciated. Visit sterlinglawyers.com to learn more about our firm and meet our attorneys.